Hello and welcome to the second video blog. This is the blog for the 1st of May and it is the second week of technical work. Last week I set myself the goals of improving the overall standard of my technical work, hopefully getting it cleaner, better articulated, and very specifically exercise 6 and the E-flat minor scale in diatonic chords. I found that everything's getting better. The more I play the scales, the better they get. The better articulated they are, the more even they are, especially the physical movements. I find when I really concentrate on them, when I'm really bent over them and really concentrating on exactly how I play them, I find that they go quite well, that they get better and better as the movements get more efficient, and especially as the scales get cleaner. I found that the E-flat minor scale in diatonic chords is definitely getting better. I really worked on it a lot. I find it's also good practice for the chord dictation, for the chord sequences that we do for the oral part of the Deb Smith book, because I now know very well off by heart the order of minor chords in the order of diatonic chords in the minor scale. I found what I've achieved this week is finally getting underhand the E-flat minor scale in diatonic chords. I put a lot of work into that, and I found that my goals were greatly improved. All of the scales improved. The exercises, more and more every time, are better articulated, better remembered, better, more efficient, and I think that it is technically better. What needs more work? I think the exercises. I've been doing a lot of scales in the last couple of weeks, in the last week, and I found that the exercises maybe could use a little bit more work, considering the amount of work that I do outside of the technical rehearsals that I do every week. It's quite different in other cases. I find that the style of learning that I put into my work outside of the technical recordings every week is very different in the way that I do a lot of more repetition. Maybe that could be evidenced in my last recording, but I do a lot of repetition of the pieces of the exercise that I require. Like, for example, sometimes I find that my third finger doesn't like going onto a black note, and then the fourth finger goes onto a white note straight after that. So I suppose I need to do a lot more repetition in reference to my exercises. I think that I've let them go a bit, but my scales definitely have improved. I feel that my technical work is having a positive influence on the performance of my pieces, although this week I found it less noticeable than last week. I found that I find it hard to almost link the exercises to my link the actions made in my exercises to the pieces. Of course, it's still helping to some extent, but unlike last year, where the majority of my exercises in both semesters of technical work were extracts of maybe a hand, what the left hand was doing and what the right hand was doing, or maybe both hands were doing from the actual piece. This year, all of them all the exercises except for the sixth exercise were not taken from the pieces. So I found that maybe it becomes less relevant. Maybe I need to put more attention into them. Maybe I am not doing them consciously enough and almost going through the paces, which I think is quite dangerous. I'm quite happy with the technical work. Again, as I just mentioned, if I will, for second semester, I might want to have more of a balanced program of exercises. So not like last year, where I had all of my technical work, all of my exercises in my technical work as extracts from the pieces. but rather next semester, having a balance of both, um, having a balance of both extracts and original exercises. Um, I think it's a bit late to be extracting or subtracting things, but I think it certainly is something to keep in mind for the future if I'm going to create another technical performance program, that I should better balance it. My current practice strategy, I think, is working, except of course for the exercises where I'm finding it difficult to relate the exercises to my actual pieces, and the movements aren't connecting. The changes that I make to my exercises don't transfer as well as I would like to my pieces. So again, I would I should probably for the next week be much more conscious about how and what I am doing. Um, during my exercise. I should be very conscious. I should be linking the movements, practicing the exact same movements, maybe even including about maybe even a mix of exercise and extract, so that it will be easier to so that it'll be easier to link those movements into my pieces, so that my mind will better relate those movements. My goals for next week are, as I just stated, to improve my practice of my exercises, to make it more relevant and more useful to improving my pieces. Um, Although about the practice strategy, personally I found the whole layout of this sack quite restrictive. Usually when I did exercises, I would spontaneously improvise exercises, like for example, um, in the development of the Beethoven Sonata, um, I found the I found it difficult. I found the small technical bits difficult. I would spontaneously make an exercise that would be quite relevant, that would feel the same, and that I would better that I would better be able to relate to the piece. So I guess the restrictions of this sack limit me, unfortunately, to change my usual practices of practice, and I find it quite restrictive, quite annoyingly restrictive actually. But I suppose that's all. It comes with the job in a way. Well, that's about it from me. This has been the recording for the blog for the second week of technical work, the 1st of May. I hope to see you next week. Bye.